Hey guys, Melissa here from the Book Break. Today I'm at a bookstore author meet and greet event and I'm going to go talk to Stephanie Black. Let's go. All right, Stephanie, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Okay, so for our viewers that don't know, I've known Stephanie quite a long time. How many years?
It's been like almost 15 years, like since before my first book came out. So
I was lucky enough to get a work at the publisher when you had your first book come out.
That's right. I remember this. Yes.
So Stephanie is a very seasoned author and she's done a ton of really awesome stuff. And the thing that's new for you right now is your book Entangled.
Yes.
And that's why we're at the store, because you're doing an event with these other authors.
We are indeed.
Okay, so tell me, what did you do in this book Entangled?
Okay, so my novella is the last one in the book, and it is actually, the story is a character from an earlier novella that I did with Traci and Gregg that came out in 2014. I decided I wanted to do something with her again, and so it's the story about a woman who lives in this little town in Massachusetts, and she owns kind of this iconic town gift shop. And so she is, trying to go about her daily business, getting pushback from people in town who are very traditional because she's kind of changing things, and then it's from her point of view. Then there's another character who is new to town and gets a job there and thinks, this is a great job, she's an artist and thinks it'll be a great place for her to work. And then she finds out from her husband that he is actually, tells her he is working as a government agent, and that this innocent looking gift shop, the owner is suspected of being involved in terrorist activities. So she's trying to help him in this and trying to figure out what's really going on in that. So it was a fun book to write, or a novella, I guess, not quite a book. So I really enjoyed it. It was a fun one to write.
And you have worked with these other authors. So you have Clair Poulson, Gregg Luke, Traci Hunter Abrahamson. And tell me a little bit about, how did you come to write this compilation of novellas?
That is a really good question. The first set we did back in 2014, I think it was Traci's idea actually, who floated the idea to our publisher of doing suspense novellas with the three of us. And then, so we did that, and that was really fun, really enjoyed that. And I don't know how it started this time, actually, to be honest, because I wasn't in the original phases because I was too bogged down with other stuff, and they're like, we're not going to ask you to be in this because you're not going to hit your other deadlines. But then things shifted around and I was able to participate in it, which I was super excited about, and super excited to work with Clair as well, which I hadn't had the opportunity to do before. And so they're all just suspense novellas. We don't read each other's stuff beforehand. There's no common theme. It's just, something to something to make you bite your nails.
Yes.
So we just have really enjoyed working together. It's been really fun to have the opportunity to work with other authors on something.
Yeah, so when you started out as an author, how did you do that? Did you already know other author friends? Did you go to conferences? How did you get your foot in the door?
I didn't go to any conferences and stuff. For me, it was a very solitary thing when I was learning how to write, just a lot of study on my own, studying fiction technique and writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting, and I didn't have any connections to the writing community, anything like that. I didn't know that there was this writing community, and then it wasn't until after my second book had come out, I think, is when I first went to a writers conference and just loved it, absolutely loved it, the Storymakers Conference that's every year, and I've gone every year after that I've been able to go, and that's one thing that has really been amazing, is finding out that there is this huge supportive community, and social media has been great with that, because you can maintain the relationships and friendships and stuff between conferences, and I'm only coming out once a year or something, and but that's really been one of the greatest things about writing that I had no idea about because I was just writing my own, submitting to the slush pile, kind of thing. I'd never talked to anybody else in publishing or anything, and now I realize there's this whole world of support, and I just have such great friends that I've made, and I love meeting new people, and it just is really an incredible community.
And where are you from originally?
Originally, I usually tell people Salt Lake. I moved around a bit as a kid. My family's in southern Utah now.
How about now then?
And now I am in Northern California. So that's where we've been for, I guess, about the last 15 years.
And you also have another book that just came out. Okay. To Die to Sleep. So tell me more about this book.
Okay, this is a book. For the last 3 books, actually this is the 3rd that I've done, I've been kind of doing a little bit of a riff on Shakespeare things, and I take that back, because actually this is the 2nd one I've done. I'm working on the 3rd one. This is a riff, as you can tell by the title, To Die to Sleep, on Hamlet. So kind of, it's been really fun to look at these plays and think, how can I take this and turn it into like a modern suspense novel? And of course I'm not, following the whole thing. I'll take what works and what I like and, and add and change and all that. But it's actually really fun. And you kind of hope that people who are familiar with it might notice some things like, oh, I see what you did there,
Little Easter eggs.
Right, yeah. And so this one is actually the 3rd in a series. The main character is a psychologist. And you don't have to have read the other books in the series to pick up this one. The first in the series is Not a Word, then Mind Games, and then this one. But like I said, you can start with any book in the series. And so she is supposed to be on vacation in this book, and so she's going to this exclusive mountain getaway. She's going to renew relationship with her cousin, who she hasn't seen in 20 years, and it's supposed to be this time for her to relax. And spoiler, it's not relaxing. But I am really excited about it. It's been a kind of a long time coming. It's something I've been working on for a long time, and I just am really excited to get it to readers.
Nice. So if you had one piece of advice for other hopeful authors or hopeful suspense authors, what would your piece of advice be?
My advice would be to study the technique of fiction. There's a lot of resources out there. There's the conferences. There's also just a lot of books and stuff that kind of help you to build that foundation, the framework. There's a lot of different approaches to writing. You figure out what works for you. Biggest advice, of course, is to just keep writing and writing and writing and rewriting and rewriting. Don't be afraid to take feedback, when you feel ready. There's a lot of writers out there who are just eager to connect. So I would say get involved in the writing community as well, because you will find fellow writers, people who will want to, exchange manuscripts, or some people do critique groups, so write, study, and read, and make sure that you're reading, in the genre that you want to publish, and just be familiar with what's going on in the...
Great. Well, thank you so much for being
here.
here.
This was really fun.
Thanks, and thanks for joining us on the Book Break. We'll see you next time.